take you now to a victory for the First Amendment with the son of Jesse Ventura, but filmmaker, TV host, actor, producer, incredible cameraman. That's what I really admire, being on a bunch of these shoots with him, is the eye that Tyrell Ventura has with cameras and the shots he gets. I've learned a lot from this guy just on that front. Tyrell Ventura joins us again, and he is one of the co-producers and new host of the popular third season Conspiracy Theory. Also with the son, a filmmaker and actor in his own right, of legendary director Oliver Stone, Sean Stone, friend of the show, friend of mine as well. And we're also twisting Tyrell's arm to try to get Harry Dean Stanton, who I was invited to he and Jesse's birthday party. I didn't bug him at the birthday party to come on, but I should have, because I want to get Harry Dean Stanton on the show as well to get his view on things. Hey, we had Christopher Walken on a few weeks ago. Gotta have him. But going to Tyrell Ventura, good news. Homeland Security threatened and everything and got him to erase and not air the Homeland Security episode that I helped produce on the FEMA camps. It's supposed to air about 50 times every year. It aired once. They erased it off DVRs, all sorts of harassment that I was told about but not at liberty to talk about. People say, hey, we'll tell you this. People always say, hey, you have these big meetings with a globalist, or you have this source, tell us. No one would ever give me sources again if I burned people. Someday I hope Jesse and others will tell you the stuff that went on. But let me tell you, they didn't want, they were mad about the second season. True TV did give them the authorization to do this because Ventura demanded to have free reign. And then pressure came in. Now, in the third season, they kind of took it away for 8-9 months and re-edited it. So who knows what's going to come out. I hope it's going to be good, but it does pique my interest. It's going to start airing in November, right after the election. And Tyrell, I mean, I think this is a victory for the First Amendment. What do you say?
Well, I think it's a wonderful day. You know, once again, the show's November 7th, 10 p.m. You know, they're back on Wednesdays rather than Fridays, so we don't have to, compete with people going out Friday night, things like that. So, it shows that they are coming back with a lot of faith in the show and things like that. And, like I said, once again, they didn't really take it away from us for 8 months as much as it was just a lot of, like explained to the show before, explained on your show before, there was, we have to brought in a new EP and the kind of liaise between the networks, so we ended up having to.
Okay, absolutely. I mean, I'm technically wrong. The point is they brought in new people and sat there and kind of redid it over 8-9 months, and so I mean, they changed the project. Go ahead.
Oh no, yeah. But the nice thing is I've seen the episodes that are going to be airing and things like that, and they look fantastic. It's definitely a lot. It's definitely going to be a fun show this year. I mean, we tackle some subjects I think that people aren't going to quite expect Jesse to tackle. We get into issues that he doesn't believe, which is a lot of times in the shows, we'd always kind of go forward with things that, he kind of had an initial instinct to, something might be a little wonky in Denmark there. But this year we kind of, we went after some controversial issues within the conspiracy theory world, with out there in the ether, So it's going to be a good season, man. It's wild and woolly, and it was a lot of fun working with Sean Stone, and it's going to be a good show.
Tyrell, I got to tell you, you look ultra cool on the Skype right now. I'm telling you,
it's my first Skype appearance on your show. I figured I had to gussy it up a little bit.
No. I tell you, Tyrell, there is so much to go over here, but kind of give us a little bit of a sneak peek of what's coming up. Your father would say, hey, I've done the research. Wall Street's running scams. Let's go investigate. And go talk to Wall Street insiders. Or we know what's happening with water, what they're putting in the water, the lithium, the fluoride, but also that they're gobbling it up and handing it over to foreign powers, foreign corporations. And issues like that, real meat and potatoes that never been on TV. Normally a conspiracy show would do the mind control or the little green men or chupacabras or reptoids or things like that first, and then never do the 2 seasons you did. This time, you're going out and doing some of the other secret space program type stuff. I mean, there's a lot of really hardcore, serious ones as well. But you guys also approach the issues that have been seen as a little more out there, but in a serious way. Most of those shows, well, I don't want to sit here and interview myself, but talk about that.
Well, we decided this year that there's a lot of conspiracies, like you say, that are to the average John Q. citizen a little bit more out there and like, whoa, that sounds a little nuts. And so we decided to see what Jesse's take would be on these. And so as an investigative team, we started to go in there and seeing, how much, fact is within the fiction and how much fiction is within the facts. And because we felt, it's a service, we're an informational show, we're an entertainment show and an informational show. And we felt that it would be a good idea to get into a little bit more of those out there subjects just to kind of see, how much truth is there to them. If there's truth, we put it on the air. If they're not truthful, then we put that on the air, just to show that, we don't always just push the agenda of conspiracy. There are a lot of bogus conspiracies as much as there's real conspiracies, and hopefully we can shed a little bit more light on all those this year. And it's going to be a hell of a season. I mean, it was a lot of fun to shoot. It was a breakneck schedule and shooting. And I'm sorry for the delay, but we are back on, November 7th at 10 p.m. So it's, tune in. We finally made it on the air.
Exactly. Well, it almost piques the interest more, and it's on Wednesday nights, which in its original slot, it got top ratings. It still did very well on a Friday slot, known to be the place they put things to die. But now it's back like the Phoenix because
it didn't die. Yes. And I thank you all. I thank you all for keeping us on. We had a hell of a second season, and that's one of the main reasons they brought us back. We're a season to season show, so the viewership counts. They don't have us slated for 3 more seasons after this. We go season to season. So you guys' support and viewership is what's important. The viewer mail that they get, things like that. These are all important things to keep us on the air.
Now, expanding on this, because I haven't seen the edits. I mean, I was part of some of the shows, consulted some, but I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But from what I saw, you guys really go out, and what you see is real, and you try to discover what's happening. But the subjects before were pretty much vetted. Is global warming real, or is it a scam? All of this, and then you go out and really interview the experts on both sides. In this case, you guys really didn't know, and you truly went out to investigate things that you guys thought might be baloney, and there's some confrontations here. So it's not so much a debunking show, but no, when you run into bull, though, I think there is some debunking. I mean, is that accurate?
It's not a debunking show at all. Jesse's standard kind of rules and laws that he put out to us as the investigators were, you bring me what is truth. And that's his rule. Whatever the truth is, as best we can, figure it out from the experts we talk to and the locations we go to, you bring me back the truth, no matter how crazy and weird it is. So no, it's not a debunking show. We never went out saying, oh, we're going to debunk this and we're going to throw this out. If in the process of an investigation, we prove or we see that, that it just doesn't quite hold water, we tell the truth about it. It doesn't quite hold water. The same as if in the process in the investigation, if we suddenly see that, wow, this is actually, there's some fire amidst the smoke here, we show that. We don't.
Can we talk about some of the?
We don't start with an agenda. We start from simply, okay, here's the experts, here's the facts that are known. Let's go out and see if this is accurate.
And I can 100% attest to this, being part of all 3 seasons, that you guys say, let's go see what's happening on Wall Street. Let's go see what's happening with the water. Let's go see what's happening in Area 51. Let's go investigate this and go out and do it. My point is, this is a little more wild, some of the subjects. What, like half the episodes are what would be seen as traditionally kind of out there?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to John Q. citizen who's not, awake to these sort of things, all of our subjects are a little bit out there.
Exactly.
But I think you have to be honest no matter what. So there's a whole realm of conspiracies that exist that are much more, I guess you would say, fantastic and even science fiction-y when you first kind of just see the byline of what it is, and you're like, that can't be really. And then that was what was fascinating for me. I mean, I got turned around on a few things where I kind of was looking at something going like, oh, come on, this can't be real. But then you get out there into some situations and boots on the ground kind of stuff, and there was some pretty hairy moments and some pretty interesting stuff that truly shook me to my core and some of the things that I saw and witnessed being an investigator in the field. I mean, previous 2 years, I was in the home office producing and putting the show together. This year, I'm out in the muck and running around and getting into some pretty wild situations with me and Mr. Stone.
Well, I mean, don't sell yourself short. You did a lot of the camera work and stuff that I saw even on the first episode. I mean, you're out in the field some, but this time you're actually 100%, I guess, out there.
Well, yeah, and we made that decision namely because you know, Jesse in his battle with the TSA, he won't fly. At the time we were shooting the show, he was in the middle of the lawsuit, and then after losing the lawsuit, having the judge throwing out his suit, you know, he refused to fly to this day and takes a train. So one of the reasons that they thought that they could bring me and Stone in is not only get the new generation of conspiracy hunters, but as well as, you know, it keeps Ventura's name alive, you know.
And it gives the TSA a chance to stick their hands in another Ventura pants. I mean, that's important to be able to. I mean, Ron Paul gets abused.
It's no fun to fly. I refuse to go through the microwave machines.
Well, that's extremist. I mean, even though top doctors admit it can give you cancer. How much can you get into? I mean, just giving us an idea. I mean, I know, you know, the episodes, but I mean, can you tell us some of the episodes that are covered? I mean, obviously, there's the private space program information. Did that make the cut?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give away everything right now, man. I'm sure that information will come out as we go along, and you know that we'll put it on your show first, you know, as soon as we...
Okay, so I still need to keep my mouth shut, is what you're saying. I'm just asking here on air.
Well, you know, I think right now, you know, I just want to be able to, you know, I just want to get everyone know that the show's coming on, and you know, as soon as we get the green light, you know, and when we do the press junket and get everybody's attention, we'll get more into the details of what
Sure, absolutely. We don't want to talk out of school and spoil it for everybody, but I mean, give us one of the scariest moments, though, or I mean, give us a little giblet.
One of the scariest moments I had was running around and investigating an area in Utah that definitely shook me. It was a
that was on the Indian reservation, right?
It was a very interesting night. You know.
Yeah, to say the least, I tell you. Man, I can't wait to be able to talk about this stuff.
Oh, I can't wait, and you know, because I don't know the order of what the episodes are going to come in yet. So I mean, I don't want to you know, speak out of place on that but I think definitely when the season gets going, I think definitely you'll see me. You know, I'll come on every week after a show airs or the day of a show airs or something like that, and then we'll talk about the show and, you know, maybe take some callers and ask what they thought of the shows and things like that. I think it'd be a great idea.
All right, we're gonna go to break. Come back with 5 more minutes or 6 minutes in the short segment on the other side. Then we've got we got our crew coming in here who just went down and tried to talk to the public information officer. They even call just the PR people officers now. The mayor calls himself an officer where I live. We're all civilian scum. And they let us know, you know, you watch yourself, you American filth. You don't have a First Amendment. Pound sand. Alex Jones here with a message that could revolutionize health in this country. Going back about 1.5 years ago, I began to learn about the incredible health effects of longevity products. Aaron Dykes lost 92 pounds. We're going to show you some before and afters. Aaron, break down what happened, your story.
I've worked really hard with diet and exercise to try to lose weight, but I just didn't get the results. It just didn't happen. Then I saw what you were doing with InfoWarsTeam.com. I wasn't even trying to lose weight, but I got it because I wanted to feel better energy. I wanted that nutrition. Didn't even understand how that could kickstart my own weight loss goals, but the products did that for me. I found myself suddenly losing weight, more energetic, wanting to exercise, wanting to eat the right foods.
And they don't even advertise it as weight loss. I want to challenge our radio listeners to go to InfoWarsTeam.com, sign up as a distributor, and get wholesale pricing discounts at InfoWarsTeam.com. Hey, the good news, Conspiracy Theory, 3rd season, very exciting, with Jesse Ventura, Tyrell Ventura, and Sean Stone, myself, and many others. Honored to be part of it. We'll, of course, have the David Icke confrontation, which was not intentional, but they were pretty freaked out when that happened and called me after it happened. So I even told David, you know, off air and on air, I said, that was not on purpose. So It clashed. But I guess you'll get to see that. I hope that's going to be in there. In fact, going to Ty. Ty, can you tell us, did that make the cut, or we're just going to have to wait and see?
No, David Icke, what happened with David is in the show, and we presented it honestly for what happened, and you know, two big personalities that got in the same room, and you know, you know, it was an interesting conversation between the two of them. I mean, It wasn't just they came in the room and started like brawling with each other or anything like that. I mean, they had a conversation. In that conversation, they started to disagree.
Well, I mean, I've gotten your perspective, your dad's and David's, and it's pretty much everybody says the same thing. But I told David, I said, David, you don't understand. The talk you have is real, and out in the field it's boom. But when they do an interview, they spent 40 minutes lighting you to make you look good. And they kept Jesse away from you when you wanted to meet him, not because he wanted to be rude to you, but they want it to be so real. And David felt, because I talked to him on and off air, he said, yeah, they made me sit there for an hour while Ventura's right next door. I wanted to go talk to him. They said no. And I think he just totally misunderstood. He's from television, but not from reality TV. And I go, look, he used to be top BBC presenter. This is how they do it now. This was not personal. So he was already mad before it even began. And
on like a talk show or something like that, you know, the host and the guest will sit down and kind of talk things out. But we found that you know, Jesse is such a lively speaker, and he loves to talk. I mean, you know, and I know, off camera, on camera, he just loves to talk. And you know, and loves to talk to people. And we just found in the process of doing the show that you miss certain great moments, you know, where he'll start talking to a guest before we start rolling, and they'll have an amazing conversation, and then you have to redo it, and it's always never quite as good as it is.
But you know your dad better than I, but knowing him now for about 7 years, he'll talk, but suddenly when he's done, he's done.
And so we always try to keep Jesse, you know, as best we can. You know, we try to keep him, you know, separate from the person we're interviewing for as long as we can, just because we want to get, you know, that.
Yeah, but I've been on Discovery and History Channel shows, and they do the same thing. They don't put me with the person I'm going to debate. They don't put me with the host first. They want it to be real. They want that first electricity, like boom, you know, here you go.
Yeah, exactly. And then you know, then we'll have, you know, an hour-long conversation that we then have to cut down into 10 minutes because we're only an hour-long show, you know. But it's you know, it wasn't done on purpose. It wasn't something where we were like, oh, you know, we got to keep the, you know, David sequestered and all that. It's just
he totally misunderstood, and I'm glad you've said this because I'll send it to David because, you know, I like both men. I obviously know your dad a lot better, but I've known David for about 15 years over the phone, and I know your dad personally very well, but it's just sad to see that. But it'll make for very exciting television. Listen, Ty, thank you so much. Give us your dad's website and give us your website.
Once again, it's weaintgotttimetobleed.com, and then also Jesse Ventura, the official Facebook page. I'm a little behind on updating We Ain't Got Time to Bleed. I've been caught up in a lot of things. Facebook's a little easier for me to update.
Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.